excited to be with you today, Alyssa. Coelho. You as a amazing young lady who has recently joined our Living the Potential Youth Advisory Council as a founding member. Thank you so much. I want to ask you a few questions. I think the first one is, tell us a little bit about what your learning experience has been like. I think you just graduated from college. Where did you go? What did you decide to major in? And what are you doing now?
Well, hi, Renee. Thank you. My learning experience took a few curves. I chose to go straight from high school to a junior college. I spent a couple years there just navigating what I liked, just diving into figuring out what was fun for me, what I was passionate about, what I absolutely didn't like. I just used it as a time to get really familiar with myself. And then I took a year off to travel, and that was driven by a personal experience on the home front that really made me realize that the answers that I was looking for were probably not going to be found in the traditional education system, but I still planned on going to a university. So I took a year off. I traveled to a lot of third world countries and to a lot of underdeveloped areas. Got to learn a lot more about myself and a lot more about the actual issues our world is facing right now. And then I decided to go into UCSD for sociocultural anthropology because that's what I became passionate about studying. So
Exactly. So that's such an interesting blend. I would call it a cross-pollinated major, sociocultural anthropology, especially in the way the world is today. So what are some of the projects, now that you've graduated, what are some of the projects you're working on?
So I decided to start a nonprofit called the Lionheart Creations Foundation at the beginning of this year. And so one of the first projects that we're working on is getting a playground to an orphanage that I stayed at in Kikima, Kenya. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's an adventure, and it's another stepping stone into a world of uncertainty and learning that I'm excited to figure out.
That's right. And you also have your own business, I think, which is an interesting way of connecting the sociocultural anthropology and how you're helping people with social media. Is that it?
So I started my business 4 years ago now, and it started as just graphic design and social media, and it has sort of evolved into a full service support engine for entrepreneurs who are launching their businesses and projects into the world. So it's been really great because I've managed to cross paths with people who from all different ethnicities and regions and ages and fields of work, and I've been blessed to dive into their world and their message and be a part of it. So I'm very big on facilitating change in the world.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that you are finding time on your busy schedule with your passion and commitment and projects to come on board as a founding member for the Youth Advisory Council for Living the Potential Network. Could you explain a little bit about why you're making time for this and how it fits in with your bigger vision?
Yeah, so like I said, I'm really big on my intention while I'm here on this planet is to be a part of the facilitation of real, tangible change in the world in any way that I can. And I'm a big believer that that starts with our youth. I had a really rough time growing up, rough experience, and poetry was sort of my coping mechanism through it all. And so when I was 21, I published my first book. It was a compilation of poetry, and it was all about navigating the journey back to love and self-love and purpose and awakening that in yourself again. And it was targeted for youth. And so I spent time going back to high schools and talking to them and coaching them through their slam poetry gigs and everything. And I enjoyed working with them more than anything. I never considered being a teacher until I did that because and this is someone who always said she was never going to go back to high school. But there's so much richness and there's so much creativity and innovation to be found in youth. And I'm a big believer that we need to give them that voice and also provide the opportunity for them to find their voice on their own and find where they fit in the world, and their passions. And I think it's our responsibility to do that, and I'm passionate about it. So I'm
Yeah,
really excited to be part of this council.
that's super. Yes. Well, I'm really grateful that you found the time to connect and make it part of your schedule, because there's a lot of youth that will learn from you. And also, there's a lot of people that would love to also support you with your larger vision as well. So mentorship, you'll be providing mentoring and also receiving mentoring, as well as other youth members that will be joining the group, the network. Is there any last statement that you would like to share for any youth that might be listening to this? Like, why should they even be interested in looking at the Living the Potential Youth Membership Organization?
Yeah, actually, I think mentorship is everything. I clung to mentors growing up. I clung to people who just had wisdom to share with me, and I listened. And now that I'm older and I've been, I've had some experiences, I am so excited at the opportunity to share the things that I've learned and the experiences I've had with youth and hear theirs, and like you said, cross pollinate in that way. And on the flip side, I'm also really excited at the opportunity to meet more mentors for, my next steps going forward. So
Absolutely. Well, you got a big vision. Your big vision.
very grateful for to be involved in this type of community.
Well, we're grateful to have you, Alyssa. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll look forward to hearing more wisdom from you along the way.
Thank you.